Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about polymers. Word polymer is a Greek word. It is made up of two parts. Poly and mer. Poly means many and mer means units. So if we have to define the polymer, we can say polymer is defined as a chemical substance of a high molecular weight formed by combination of a large number of smaller molecules, and those smaller molecules are called as monomers. So this will be your definition of polymer. Polymer is defined as a chemical substance of high molecular mass formed by combination of large number of simpler molecules called monomers. अगर आपको एग्जाम्पल देखना है तो एग्जाम्पल कुड बी योर polythene. The simplest example, it is a polymer of ethene or ethylene. N units of ethene or ethylene undergoes addition reaction, and without elimination of any molecule, a polymer is obtained, which is known as polyethylene or polythene. After this comes a term polymerization. So what is polymerization? Polymerization is the process by which polymers are synthesized. So if we have to define it, we can write the process by which the monomers get combined and transformed into polymers is known as polymerization. So basically what is happening in polymerization, n units of a monomer combines to give polymer. Now it's not necessary that only one type of monomer is there. There could be more than one. There could be two different monomeric units which combine to form a polymer. Now a term is used for polymers that is called macromolecules. This term is used interchangeably with polymers, but there is a difference between macromolecules and polymers. It's like, let's say if this represents your macromolecules, then your polymers are part of it. Not all polymers are macromolecules. All polymers are macromolecules, but not all macromolecules are polymers. For example, your chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a polymer. So not polymer. It's a macromolecule, but it is not a polymer. Macromolecule are those molecules which have a very high molecular weights. So chlorophyll have higher molecular weight, so it is a macromolecule, but it is not a polymer. And the reason being, it doesn't have any monomeric unit. कोई रिपीटिंग यूनिट प्रेजेंट नहीं होती क्लोरोफिल में. दैट्स वाई इट डजेंट कम इन टू द कैटेगरी ऑफ पॉलीमर्स. इट इज़ अ मैक्रोमोलिक्यूल बट नॉट अ पॉलीमर. But other way around, all the polymers are macromolecule because they have very high molecular weight. Now comes the classification. If we talk about classification can be based on lot of things. The classification can be based on your origin of the starting material, from where you have obtained it, or how the polymers respond to the heat based on some physical properties, how they are synthesized, the mode of formation, the geometrical structure, whether the polymer is a linear polymer or it is branched or it is cross-linked. So that way there are many bases of classification. The very first we will study based on the source of origin. So this will be the first basis of classification. Let's talk about based on the source of origin, polymers can be divided into three categories. Natural polymers, second your synthetic polymers, third semi-synthetic polymers. So natural polymers are those polymers which exist in nature. Polymers which exist in nature, which are synthesized by nature only, or are called natural polymers. Examples आपके हो सकते हैं natural rubber, your natural silk, it's a fiber. Wool is also a natural fiber. Other than this, in starch, प्लांट्स में जो मिलता है हमें, सेलुलोज, प्रोटीन्स. So and DNA, all these are examples of natural polymers. If we talk about synthetic polymers, so synthetic polymers are those polymers which are synthesized in the laboratory, or you can say man-made polymers. Other term for this could be man-made polymers. Polymers which are synthesized in the laboratory. Okay, examples could be the very first we seen polythene, synthetic rubber, your nylon 66, polyvinyl chloride, Teflon, polystyrene, and there are a lot more. Okay. Third category is semi-synthetic. Semi-synthetic polymers are those polymers which are synthesized by modification into the natural polymers. So polymers which are obtained by making some modification into the natural polymers are called by artificial means or called semi-synthetic polymers. Examples could be your um, vulcanized rubber, your cellulose acetate, it is also known as rayon, methyl cellulose, cellulose nitrate, and there are many more. Second classification is based on the structure. Based on structure of polymer. So again it has three categories. आपका linear chain polymer, branched chain polymer, and your third cross linked polymer. In case of linear polymer, linear chain polymer, as the name suggests, these polymer will have linear chains. Let's say ऐसा chains है. They will not have any kind of branching, so they will fit above one another perfectly. So linear chain polymers are those polymers in which monomer units are linked to one another to form long linear chains, and these linear chains are closely packed in space. So these are the polymers in which the monomer units are linked to one another to form long linear chains. Long linear chains. These chains are closely packed in space. Since these chains are not closely packed in space, so there will be some changes in the properties, like they will not be these are closely packed in the space, sorry. As a result they will have higher density, क्योंकि एक दूसरे के बिल्कुल immediately packing रहेगी. So the density, overall density will be very high, strength will be very high, and melting and boiling point will also be high. Examples, you can see high density polyethylene, nylon, polyesters. Second category is branched chain polymers. Now what happens in the branched chain polymers? Your monomers, or you can say your starting material itself, have some branching or chain. So the overall chains which are formed will also have branching. So what is happening in the branch chain polymer? The monomers units are linked together to form a long chain. They are forming long chain, but different chains cannot be packed densely because उनमें branching present है. Due to the branching, they do not get packed very densely, hence not closely packed in space. They will have low density, low tensile strength, and low melting and boiling points. Examples could be your low density polythene, starch, glycogen, etc. Third category is crossed link polymers or network polymers. Now, what happens in the crossed link polymers? A 3D structure is formed. There is lot of cross linking. Like इसमें कोई linear chain formation नहीं हो रहा है. You're getting a 3-dimensional linking, and the product formed is a big mass. So here I have shown you only a 2D picture. ऐसे cross linking हो जाएगा in between various chains, and but in actual it's a 3D cross linking. So the monomeric units are linked together to form 3D 3-dimensional network. So as a result, a hard mass is obtained. Mostly it is rigid and brittle. Examples could be bakelite, glyptal, melamine formaldehyde resin, urea formaldehyde resins. So what happens when once the bakelite is formed, you cannot transform it into different structures. Like during its formation and when it is in the heated form, that time only you can give it a particular shape. After getting cooled, its shape cannot be modified. So it's bakelite is an example of thermosetting plastic also. So third classification is based on the mode of polymerization. There are two categories in this: addition polymers or condensation polymers. So basically in addition polymers, addition reactions takes place, and condensation reactions takes place. In the condensation reaction, there is a elimination of smaller molecules such as water, ammonia, or HCl, or ethanol. Addition polymers can be further subdivided into two categories: homopolymers and copolymers. Homopolymers are those addition polymers which are synthesized by only one type of monomer, while copolymers are those addition polymers which are synthesized by combination of or you can say addition of more than one monomeric units. So addition polymers are formed by polymerization of monomers which contain unsaturation, either a double bond or a triple bond. So those kind of polymers are known as addition polymers. These polymers have same empirical formula as that of the monomer. If you look at this, the empirical formula in this case is your CH2 unit is repeating. So you can write down CH2. For example, we have CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So the empirical formula, you can write down C2H5 whole twice also. So in such a way, this is your empirical formula. तो इन दिस केस आपका वही यूनिट रिपीट हो रहा है, तो वही एम्पेरिकल फार्मूला है, कोई चेंज नहीं हुआ, कोई एटम रिमूव नहीं हुआ. सो द एम्पेरिकल फार्मूला रिमेन्स सेम. नाउ देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ एडिशन पॉलीमर्स, homopolymer and copolymer. So the polymer which are obtained by addition of only one type of monomer are called homopolymer. Example, polyethylene, It is a homopolymer of ethene. Copolymer are polymers obtained by polymerization of two or more monomers. Example is Buna S rubber. So it's a copolymer of butadiene plus styrene, and butadiene styrene rubber is obtained. So this is the example of copolymer. Now we move on to condensation polymer. Now condensation polymers are those polymers which are formed by combination of monomers along with the elimination of smaller molecule such as water, alcohol, HCl, ammonia. The example of condensation polymer is nylon 66. So in condensation polymer, in the synthesis of nylon 66, hexamethylene diamine. So if you see hexamethylene, this methylene is actually CH2. So there are 6 units of CH2 and diamine. This is amine group. 2 amine groups are connected to this. So the name is hexamethylene diamine plus adipic acid to form nylon 66. These combine to form a amide bond. One hydrogen of this amine and OH of this carboxylic acid combine and form water molecule and gets eliminated. So this is the elimination of water molecule here in the formation of nylon 66. So this is example of condensation polymer. Now elastomers. So elastomers are rubber like solid polymers in which the polymer chain are held by weakest intramolecular forces. In this case, there are various chains present in a polymer which overlap with each other, and these chains are held by the weakest intermolecular forces. Therefore, they have some stretchy property. Example, natural rubber, Buna S, Buna N, etc. Now what happens in case of elastomers? When you stretch them, they remain in the stretched form only. But if we introduce some kind of cross-linking between the different polymeric chains, then they develop a property through which they can retake their original position. For example, when we vulcanize the natural rubber, we treat it with sulfur. So the sulfur-sulfur cross-linking takes place between different chains, and it improves the stretchy property. Like when the vulcanized rubber is stretched, and as soon as the force is removed, it comes back to its original position. So that helps in the improvement of elastomers property. Next, second type is fibers. So fibers is a class of polymers which are thread-like. These can be woven into fabrics. So they are basically used in manufacturing of clothes, nets, ropes. The properties they have is they have very high tensile strength, and the reason is the different polymeric chains are held together by the strong intramolecular forces. The forces which are present in the fibers are the strongest. They have crystalline type of nature because they have a very sharp melting point. So it's a property of a crystalline solid. They have a very sharp melting points. It's not like they melt at over a range of temperature. Now if we talk about the examples could be nylon 66, terylene, polyacrylonitrile. Third form is thermoplastics. Thermoplastics are linear polymers. They have weak van der Waals forces. So these van der Waals forces are in between that of the elastomers and fibers. They, when they are heated, they can be remolded in different forms. So you have seen some kind of plastics which can be remolded again and again by heating. So those are thermoplastics. Examples are polythene, polystyrene. So all the plastics that can be recycled come into the category of thermoplastics. Fourth category is thermosetting plastics. So thermosetting plastics are semi-fluid kind of substances which have low molecular masses. But when they are heated, they become hard and infusible due to cross-linking. Some cross-linking takes place and a 3D structure is obtained and it becomes hard. And if you heat it again, nothing changes. Like you cannot remold a thermosetting plastic. Examples are bakelite, melamine formaldehyde resin, urea formaldehyde resin. So some of these you might have to synthesize in your labs also. In the next class, we will study about the type of polymerization and molecular weights of the polymers.